You think you're a real gunslinger? Well, this game will test that. Kill the Crows is a top-down shooter kind of game, coming out on August 21st, 2023 with an overwhelmingly positive on the Steam store. It also has 31 achievements in total. If you're looking for a real challenge, I recommend playing this game before you watch the rest of this video. So here's the spoiler warning if needed. For the gunslingers who stayed, let's go settle this town. We start the game by getting some lore, stating that we've been on quite the run for a while, finally escaping the Crows that have been chasing us, but despite that, the Crows found us once more. This is where we get our tutorial. R for reload, left mouse button for shooting, and right mouse button for showdown. Showdowns get charged up by killing the enemies. After enough enemies are killed, we get a full charge, allowing us to use it. Spacebar is our dodge button to get out of some hell spots. And with that, we start the first attempt. This is where we get introduced to the first two enemies, the gunners and the slashers. This would be a good time to point out that all the enemies are one shot, even bosses. But that doesn't sound as awesome as you might think, since you're also one shot as well. Oh look, my first death. Oh look, another. Oh, even more deaths. Eventually, on my 12th attempt, we do reach a high enough kill count to find two new enemies, defenders and snipers. Defenders have shields that no bullets can pierce, but showdowns can, or you can roll through them and gun them from behind, with snipers being much worse. Snipers can shoot at us at any distance. Being close enough to them can mess with their aim, or dodging works too. But oh look, more deaths. On the bright side, we do find our first passive item in the achievement Gear Up, by killing 6 or more enemies with a single showdown. I then decided to go for the Are You Stuck achievement, requiring me to stand still for 30 seconds, but that results in a mountain of deaths. Psych, you thought? I already showed those deaths, but eventually we stand long enough with enough patience. I then reached the next gear unlock, after climbing back up to the 50 kill mark. After this attempt, this is where we add some spice to the build, allowing me to add 2 passive items. The first being Rusty Spur, allowing me to dodge roll twice instead of once. This perk never leaves me. That's how essential it is. The second perk is Rifleman Gloves, making my movement speed increase when reloading my gun. When I equip both the perks, we also get full pocket, while also having the fastest death in the West. But back into the hell pot we go, with the very next attempt being the first time I reached the 100 kill mark. A shadow made figure appears named the Reaper. We then have a small chat between us, yet that doesn't matter since the battle begins, with instant death. But don't worry, we'll get back to him eventually. Trust me. We're also rewarded another gear for our efforts, after death passes. In my pursuit to reach the PB again, I do stumble into Scarecrow after scaring 100 crows. We then reach the PB once more, and die. We unlock another gear and reach the Bastard again. On this attempt, it's not that one, but we get Weird West shows for killing 20 ghosts from within the graves. Oh wait, I haven't explained the boss, have I? Well, get out your notebooks. Let's do this. The Reaper spawns with a rotating shield of black endless crows. Some of the crows are however blue. If you're able to gun the 2 of them down, the boss will fall. This is your only chance to hit him. However, you're on a tight schedule, so if you miss the window, he'll just get back up and teleport. He also spawns these graves around him. If enough time passes, these graves will spawn these ghosts like slashers. That's also what makes the timing a bit harder. When he goes down, he'll spawn these 3 graves, blocking an instant shot from going through. We do make it to the boss once more. I finally knock him down and take my only chance, finally being able to pull the trigger and hit. As he fades away, a new enemy pulls up. These enemies are named Bombers, simple diving enemies that can kill their own allies. On this attempt, I'm able to make it to 109. With this, we unlock the second revolver named the Crimson. This is the one gun I stick with until way later. We also unlock the Strange Locket. This passive recovers showdown energy when I achieve 5 kills with a showdown. We also get Remember Me and the Kid. Before the next run starts, this is where I switch into the Crimson, allowing me to reload all my bullets at once, and I also incorporate the Strange Locket, so maybe now the attempts will be lighter. I make it to the first boss 4 times, and defeating it once more, making it to not a new PB. But I do get 2 achievements, Warm Hug for getting killed by a bomber, and After Harrowing Ritual for unlocking the second showdown, needing me to kill a boss with a showdown. Also amongst my attempts, I make the choice to hunt down Murder of Crows, for having 30 enemies on the battlefield at one time, which doesn't take me long at all, so we achieve it. I'm also going to reveal my trap card! During the mountain of attempts, I've been trying to get the I count 6 shots, which needs me to kill 60 enemies with 100% accuracy, which might sound easy, but this is the baby boy version. There's a Giga Chat upgraded version that I'll tackle way later, but I do eventually achieve it. Amongst the deaths, I also got Western Flail from being killed by a defender. After that I switch out from the old showdown for the new one, being Blue Constellation, which fires a single bullet targeting from one enemy to the next, with the max being of 9. But I jump back in, more sadness happens, and this is where I break. I close the game, and I put it on the shelf. Six months pass by. I somehow decide to boot up the game once more, finally deciding that if I don't 100% this game will haunt my soul. It takes me time to adapt again with more deaths. I unlock the third showdown, Growing Hatred, a showdown we shouldn't care about, but we do get 2 more achievements, Girl and Bloodstains for the third showdown, and Cursed. Cursed unlocks a new difficulty modifier, spicing up the battles for those who like crushing their spirits. Even though I would love to dodge this, I can't. There's an achievement requiring me to have every curse equipped for a game, but to unlock the curses requires me to reach 100 kills, with enough curses equipped, also needing to add 1 more curse to the plate to reach the next unlock. So I decide to bite the bullet and pull the pin. The sooner I beat this challenge, the better. The first curse I add is Curse of the Black Fog, adding a basic fog onto the screen. Only 1 death is added and we make it to 100. I die. And unlock a new curse, Curse of the Reaper, making enemies spawn at random locations. So I add it. So with 4 deaths, I make it again, die, and unlock Curse of Knowledge, removing the inside of our magazine rounds and our showdown bar, while also removing the enemy count on the top, while also getting, hey, careful with that dynamite, for letting the bombers kill 20 of its allies. We also get a new PB of 169. I then add the third curse, being Curse of the Miter, causing enemies I kill to explode upon death. I add this because it could potentially help us by killing the allies. With 8 deaths, I also unlock the next showdown, being Cursed Gaze, and achieve Fled Across the Desert. I make it to 100 again, break, with the new curse making enemies' movement speed much faster, enough to consider that they might be on crack, but this only happens on every other enemy. But I don't add that. Instead, I add Curse of the Crimson Moon, making enemy spawns way faster, but can cause friendly fire. Endless unneeded deaths happen. Enough deaths happen where I get a a triple in the achievements. Cowgirl from Hell from killing 10,000 enemies. When you have to shoot, shoot, don't walk. Using the Curse Gaze on a boss, Curse Gaze made me super happy since I felt like I had wall hacks. I also get Monkanto by dodging 10 enemy attacks in a single attempt. I achieved this using the Defender since he's the easiest to dodge consistently. More death happens, except ever so often I unlock another curse and add 1 more to the camel's back. This happens enough times till I reach the Curse of Chaos. With the Curse of Chaos applied in my chaotic panic state, all enemies of a random variety begin to spawn. We do somehow get an achievement within the chaos named Kill It With Fire. I eventually reach 100 again, finally achieving the last curse needed. After equipping all the curses and throwing myself through hell, we get the Crimson Moon Rising. We now have one of the more difficult achievements, but that only means we've jumped out of the pot and into the fire. The fire being the Giga Chad I mentioned earlier, the achievement named I Count 2 Guns. This achievement requires me to kill 120 enemies with 100% accuracy. I can't miss a single bullet. I even have to fight a boss without missing. The strategy I have in mind is to have the Curse of the Miter and the Crimson Moon, hopefully for many casualties without me having to fire my gun. So you down for a death compilation? Too bad. After nearly 300 deaths, I can rest easy knowing I can finally be bad at aiming again. I then take the curses off, and after another 9 deaths, I reach the newest PB of 200 kills, making me a survivor. With our accomplishment, we finally reach the second boss, the Shaman. But before we can even talk about this boss, it gets struck down by Zeus. However, with this, we get Electrified and the Outlaw. The Outlaw unlocks us a gun I never use, but we do get dual wielding. Something we don't use at this time, but will become very important later. After another 20 deaths, and switching to Growing Hatred, we get another useless revolver and another achievement. With another 15 deaths, we make it back to the PB and actually survive the thunderstorm. We can't kill him at this current state since he has some electric shield. The only way to get through is to crack the 2 crystals, while also having to dodge the homing electric orbs. And if we're somehow too slow, we'll have to dodge the RNG thunderbolts. But on this attempt, the Shaman breathes his last life, and we kill him. This attempt seems to be the chosen one since we make it to the 300 kill mark and reach the third boss, the Hunter. getting killed in a flash. After more sadness, I do have to do a challenge requiring me to reach 150 kills without using a single showdown. This is where I also begin to use the dual wielding showdown, allowing me to have 2 guns, but remove the showdown mechanic entirely. Eventually we do reach the goal, reaching the godly gun, the partner. A shotgun pistol with 3 bullets and a bit of a short range, but if we tie it with the dual wield showdown, we now mow down enemies. This is the build I stick to, until we reach the 300 kill mark, and die. We reach it again, die. Another attempt at the boss is reached. This time I'm alive long enough to talk about this boss. This boss will try to close the distance on you and cut you open. He'll also create these mines. His only weakness are these 2 flying orbs that move around. If you're able to kill both of them, you'll be able to kill the beast directly. On this attempt we reach the new 392 kills. The next goal is 500 kills. If we're able to get there, we'll be able to unlock 2 out of the 4 achievements. So with the power of the double shotguns, I finally reached the 500 mark, while also having to fight some buffed up versions of the previous bosses that we've killed. While meeting the enforcers, enemies using shotguns, stalkers being some fast boy.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
But we finally make it. I kill a shaman for a second time in one run and die a while after, but we get Gunslinger for the accomplishment, while achieving the last and final showdown. With the 500 kills, I'm also one last task away from being allowed the battering ram, allowing me to dodge roll into enemies and kill them, but we also need it for battering ram, demanding us to flatten a boss with it. To get the passive, we just need to kill 2 specters using the showdown, which doesn't take too long with the random curse song, except that I was very smooth brain and forgot to record, so please forgive me. But I did record my fat ass rolling over a boss after 0 deaths. You non-believers thought I would fail. Never! The next hell is the 600 kill mark, and this destroyed my soul. I would smash my keyboard, I would listen to rage music. It even took me so long I started listening to an audiobook. I don't remember what it exactly was, but it was about zombies. After my mind shreds into the void, and just before the 800 death mark, we finally reached 600 kills. And with a sweaty fight, we killed the boss. Finally reached the end of this painful road. But
who decided that?
if you are interested in the run, I will put the run in the description just for some proof and if you are interested. With this, we finally received the 2 last guns and a full arsenal. Yet with this last gun named Isabel's Revolver, we enter some kind of a new game mode. We can also get a bit more of the story. A decade has passed with us returning to a town used to being in ruin and beyond recognition, somehow still feeling like home. But we get tossed in. However, this time it seems to be even more random enemies. We do reach the 300 mark, yet that sounds easy, but I wish it was, since we do have to fight the bosses again in the enhanced state, but we do kill all 3, yet we have one final showdown, with me and the Reaper in a standoff. The Reaper asks why we're on this meaningless slaughter, saying no matter the amount of lives we take, it will not end, while demanding for the eye. If we give him the eye, we'll have our town back and some followers in return. But why do that when we can have endless fun? No one escapes death from my gun. With my Western gunslinger self now far gone, I want to give my final ratings. I'll give this game a 6 out of 10 showdowns in the fun factor, and a 9 out of 10 on how did I survive that in difficulty. And this game is the first game to make me add a new rating, the rage rating. How much I physically raged in a game. I give this game an 8 out of 10 of smashing keyboards. This game made me so mad I would just smash my keyboard to the point I almost broke my spacebar. I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not the most peaceful soul of a gamer, but I'm also not made out of pure rage. But this game made me want to question my morals. I might not add this to every game, but I just might if it breaks me enough. This game was pretty fun for me when I was able to modify my gear and spice it up. That really helps. For me at least. I do like the enemy variety despite me raging because of them. All 3 bosses were also pretty entertaining in some way. I think my favorite has to be the Hunter. The shotgun pistol will always be my favorite pistol in the game, hands down. And if you're somehow still interested, go play this game for yourself and understand my rage. And with that, stay chill and watch some anime.